So here I scored some frames at the secondhand store. They're actually in really good condition. There's nothing wrong with them. So I've got a great idea on what I'm going to do to repurpose them. The first thing I'm going to do is just take off these little decoupage or peel things that are on here. It's actually quite easy. They're not on here permanently. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to soak these down, and then I'm going to take these off. And then we'll take you to the next step. Okay, so I got all that picture that was Mod Podged on here all off. It didn't take much, just soaking up with some water, and just use your fingers to rub off the backing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a really good clean because they are very dusty. So vinegar and water, soap and water, or a little TSP will get these all cleaned up, and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so now I got these all clean and now I'm ready to paint. So I'm going to use Fusion Coal Black. Now I like the texture of them, as you can see. I do like the rustic nature of it, and that's why I grabbed them. However, for what I want to do, I don't want brown. But what I'm going to, so I'm going to concentrate on black around here. We are going to come in detail and brighten up the brass. And then I'm coming in here and I'm going to finish this on the inside here as well, but I'm not going to touch any of this for now. And let's see how this goes. Well, as you can see, that looks a lot better than the original ones. I really like the black. It really pops out the frame and the rustic. So we're going to go let that dry, and then we're going to go for coat number 2. Alright, so we finished our second coat. It looks really good. I like it. I'm going to wait to detail these nail heads or the rivets on here until later. What I want to do now is then pick what I'm putting on the surface. So originally I was going to do some molds, but what I want to do is actually have the new transfers that we just got in from IOD. So this is what we have coming in. It's called Floral Anthology, and I really love the vintage look on this, and I think this is going to be very suitable. because you can see some of the nice detail, and I think that's going to make a really nice complement to these picture frames. So what you're getting in here is some sheets of transfer, and we'll just let you see what kind of what you're going to get here. There's all kinds of florals, so you can make a collage and you can make little pieces, and they actually can be put together. This would be a really nice piece on a dresser, or a side hutch, or the back of a bench. And then we have these pieces. So I'm just trying to decide which one, because you can see look how beautiful that would look together by putting one of those on here. I think that's going to be stunning. But the other one that we got in is the new Redoubt 2 release. So look how vibrant all these colors are. So this is what you're going to get in here. I mean, it's just sheets of beautiful red flowers, a little bit of the nice deep burgundy colors here. And those are going to look stunning on here as well. So trying to decide what would be the best. Again, these are great for other pieces that you can create pictures from, use them to refinish furniture. And maybe with Christmas coming up, you can get started on some Christmas decorating. These would be really beautiful, creating some Christmas pieces, decor. So look at all the different pieces that you're going to get in here. I mean, you get a lot in these sheets to make a lot of projects out of. So we're trying to decide. Right now, I'm leaning towards going with this because I like the complementary colors. It's going to pick up on the brass that I have here, kind of a brassy silver, and I might make it more silver or more gold once these are on. So let me cut these up, and then let's decide which I am going to go with. Okay, so these are the ones that I have settled on. So what we're going to do is go ahead and start transferring onto the surface, and I'll show you how that is done. So with this little tool, we're just going to make sure you place the flower right on the stone that I have here. Then we're going to peel the back, and then just making sure that you're going to adhere to the surface, and you want to place it so it doesn't matter where this goes. Adhere it to the surface. And then just start to rub, and then with this tool, the transfer will start to rub onto the surface, and it will start to see a bit of, when you start to see this changing, that it's starting to adhere to the surface, and its transfer is taking place. So then just very carefully, just peel it back, and then there's just that little bit here that wasn't going, so make sure before you take them off, we don't get any bits left behind. So it's looking really good. Oh, this guy. Okay, that looks really good. So just with your hand, just give it a good, smooth it over, just make sure it's adhered to the surface. And then what I do is I use the backing to start to burnish it, because you want to make sure that this transfer is adhered to the surface, because if not, it will start to bubble and peel, and then you'll start having to fight with it, getting it back onto the surface, and you may or may not be successful. So burnishing it is very, very important. Okay, so we got the first one done. I think that looks stunning on that one. I'm really pleased with how that's looking. So we'll go to the next one. This one I kind of kept it really simple, because whether I sell these frames as a set or individually, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just going to put this down. As soon as you start to see that go down, you'll know. There we go. again, just burnish the back of it. So make sure this transfer adheres to your surface. That's why it's important to have a really good surface and a good adhesion. All right, nice and simple. I love that one. All right, let's go to the next one. Some gorgeous, really good saturated colors here, and I really like the details on these new transfers that have come out with IOD. So if you haven't seen them yet, they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, very detailed, very vintagey as well. So they've got some great versatility in a lot of applications on any finishing you want. Now these tiles have a bit of a rough surface, so it's going to enhance the look of these transfers a little bit. So I'm kind of looking forward. I haven't used these yet, so this is the first time that I'm putting these onto a piece that I've found. There we go. Oh, gorgeous. Don't think I have a favorite yet. I like them all. Again, make sure you get a good burnish with the backing. This is a great project to do on a rainy day. Here where I live, the rain is coming in, so it's a great piece to do because it's really quick. All right, let's go with the last one. So as soon as you see that changing compared to this piece, that means the transfer is releasing off the paper. And if you ever have any time that you you struggle to get the transfer on, you just got to keep going and just keep working it, and eventually it will come off. Because sometimes you might struggle to get the transfer to release, but just keep going. All right. Oh, I just love how that is. Oh, it's gorgeous. There you go. All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to come in. I don't have sandpaper, so I'm just going to go grab some sandpaper. Going to come back, and then we're just going to start doing some highlighting detail around the images. Okay, so with a 120 sandpaper, what I've got here, I'm just going to start to lightly go over these rails, this detail here, just to start bringing out some of that underneath. It's kind of a bit of a silvery, antique-y silver, the hint of gold, and I just want to bring that up. Now you can determine how much you want or not, because I think it's just going to really highlight what we're doing here. And you can just play around with that. So I'm just kind of liking so it just really pops that out a little bit, and I really like that. Okay, so I'm going to continue with all the other three, and then we'll come back to the next step.